Well, joining us on the show this afternoon, the wonderful Tanya Unkovic. Tanya, thanks for being a part of the show today.
It's always my pleasure.
Tanya, something that there's a lot about at the moment is positivity. But in this case, it's not necessarily a good thing. Lots of people testing positive at the moment, but regardless of that and in terms of what's happening internationally, a lot of people can feel a bunch of pressure. When you say positivity, you're not talking about a rat test. You're talking about an attitude of mind, body and spirit, right?
Absolutely, 100%. That's the only way to be positive nowadays, isn't it?
Yeah, I totally agree. Hey, so, we've spoken about this before, but today we're going to take a sort of zoom in as to how we can do this, what steps we can take when it comes to our physical health, our mental health, and also talking about our spiritual health. So let's zero in on our physical health. What can we do, Tanya?
The fastest way to change how you feel is to move your body in an instant. Honestly, that is the quickest thing to do. I know Andrew loves star jumps.
Yep.
Do whatever it takes to move your body. So I would actually suggest to people for the next 7 days, make it an intentional decision to move your body for X amount of minutes every single day. And especially if you're feeling a bit flat in the afternoon or tired, that is the time to do it. All right? So that's number one.
Okay.
Number two, treat your body as if it is, if you love fast cars, vintage cars, and you polish it all day and spend hours and hours on it, treat your body the same way.
Are you calling me a vintage car? I'll take that as a compliment.
Yes.
Maybe,
also, I'm a sports car.
maybe chitty chitty bang bang and I'm Cracticus Potts, right?
Well, that's the way we treat our bodies. Our body is our most important asset. Treat it like your greatest investment. Give it good fuel. So it's, again, make it 7 days. I'm doing a 7-day thing here, okay?
Yep.
Make it for 7 days that you are going to intentionally make the decision to feed your body good fuel. Change your mindset around it. A lot of people go, oh, well, that means I've got to go on a diet for 7 days. Absolutely not. I don't even want you to use that 4-letter word. Just make the decision that you're going to feed your body in a healthy way, that has no deprivation attached to it,
Yep.
That is such a different thing. Shall I give you another one?
Yeah,
Number
yes,
3.
please.
Decide for 7 days. First, you've got to identify what your bad pattern is, okay? And then decide that for the next 7 days, you're going to do your best to change that pattern. Now, that pattern physically might be something to do with excess smoking, excess chocolate, or anything. I'm not saying cut it out completely. I'm saying do what you can to every day reduce it just a little bit every day. And it might even just be a not so good habit of being on the couch all night after you've had your dinner. All right? So just find a habit, a physical habit that will change your body. Just make the next 7 days a trial run. Just see how it feels, because I can guarantee by the time we talk next week, you'll be feeling better.
Okay, that sounds really good. The body taken care of. Also, though, focusing in on the mind. What can we do to have a positive mind when all of the news, everything surrounding us, is enough to deflate our variable balloon?
Well, identify what deflates your balloon, and then maybe for the next 7 days, decide not to do it, even if it means you don't watch the news at night. Maybe you can just have your dinner with your family without turning the television on, because that will really affect how you digest your food too, actually.
Yeah.
But what you focus on, you are going to feel. So if you're always finding that you're picking up your phone, you're scrolling, you want to find out what's happening, what the numbers are every day and all that, give yourself a 7-day break from it. Pretend there's no internet or something, whatever it takes to just break that pattern, because you want, just like you feed your body, the same with your mind, only feed it the good stuff.
So we're talking about feeding it the good stuff. So I'm guessing if you're not going to watch things that might upset you or, scroll through the internet, perhaps it's just taking another look at these things that we do with our lives, watching TV, reading books, and changing those to things that are actually positive and helpful.
Yeah, look, amazing how much time we spend on social media every day. If you were to add that up, I wouldn't be surprised if you found an extra hour or two in the day.
Yeah.
Imagine if you walked for that period of time every day. or did something else, or cleaned the house even. So there's so many other ways we can use our time. Another thing with managing your mood is be very mindful of when you find that your mood is dipping. So often in the afternoon, for people, it's around 3 or 4 o'clock. Keep a food, not keep a food diary. Mind you, you can do that as well.
Yeah.
But keep a mood diary. And that way, if you notice that, and find the pattern, this is how you'll identify a pattern for 7 days. Wow, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon, my energy is low. And that is when I'm noticing my thinking is getting a bit stinking as well. So, interrupt that pattern. Do something at 3 o'clock. That's when you do your star jumps. I often do my vacuuming in the afternoons when I'm tired, and that moves my body.
And maybe your food and your mood diary overlap slightly. Think, why am I so sleepy at 3 o'clock? Maybe it's because I had all these carbs for lunch.
Absolutely. So maybe you can use the same big spreadsheet for both. Just use different colours, when you're putting your food down and when you're putting your mood down as well. Now, here's an interesting challenge for 7 days. It's a really tough one to do. For the next 7 days, I am going to invite you to stay away from complaining, criticizing other people, and one other thing that you notice that you do a lot of.
Okay.
I don't know what it is, but find it. But, complaining, moaning, instead of moaning, we need to always go, thank you. Actually, God, instead of going, I'm going to go, thank you instead, replace it. And, it's so easy to criticize everyone else, but really we often see things in other people that we don't like in ourselves. So, 7 days, try that.
I mean, this is really good stuff. And, I just love the 7-day concept. I'm thinking, gosh, do I start on the weekend or do I start on Monday? But we haven't finished there because, of course, we've got, mind, body. And now let's head to soul, things we can do for our spiritual health.
We often keep our brain cluttered with unforgiveness and anger and resentment. So maybe make the decision that over the next 7 days, you're going to be ready and willing to let that go. It may be one person that comes to mind for you, and that's where you make the decision to pray for them. For the next 7 days, pray for that person, because that is going to be the most effective way for that unforgiveness and anger to dissipate over time.
It is really difficult to stay angry with somebody that you're praying God's blessing on, right?
I know. I mean, sometimes you just don't want to do it, but it's about releasing yourself too. That's probably the biggest thing, isn't it? You don't want to carry that around with you. And some of these emotions are the kinds of things that actually make you feel tired. They zap your energy. So there's one thing you can do. Number 2, and this is a big one. Some people want to stay in a place of punishing themselves, and so they hang on to things that they are angry at themselves for, that they feel ashamed about, and they don't want to forgive themselves. But that enables us to stay in the story of why we can't move forward and be happy, of why we can't release ourselves from these chains. So make the decision that for the next 7 days, you're going to do the same for yourself. You're going to be ready and willing to let go of something that you're hanging on to, that you feel you need to clobber yourself with. Let it go.
Really important. And then another thing for the 7 days I see you've got here, Tanya, what is that?
Do something for your partner, your spouse. And I probably shouldn't say it, but I will now. The cat's out of the bag. I started doing it. I started doing one. He's going to know now. I've started doing one for my husband. Is get a little journal. And for how many days you want, I'm actually going to do it for a long period of time, like until his next birthday. Every single day, write something in this journal that you love about them or that you are grateful for. And then you hand it to them. So you may just want to do it for the 7 days, but honestly, what a difference it makes. Such a difference. It's something that you could both do together as a husband and wife, make the commitment to do it for the next 7 days, and then hand it to each other at the end of 7 days.
Wow. I think this is so good because I think often we can feel grateful for something that our partner has done, but not think to say it. Or sometimes we're just so angry all the time, we actually need to search for it, right?
Absolutely. So just imagine what it's going to feel like for them when they get this and read this. Or if ever you're grumpy with each other again, it can be a tool that you go to and you pick it out and go, oh, that's right, she said this about me, she does love me.
Hey, some really good practical stuff in all three of these areas. We're going to get this up on the REMA website, but people can also find lots of inspiring practical steps at your website as well. Tanya, how do people get in touch?
Yes, TanyaUngovich.com, or I'm all over social media and YouTube.